Coming in, you guys, it's day number 6 of my ice bath challenge. 365 days I'm doing this, so I can imagine when I'm like it's day number 171. That'll be funny. But day 6 here at the beginning of the year 2022, we are jumping into an ice bath right there, the Morozco Forge. And guys, I was looking at the temperature on the Morozco Forge today. This is the coldest it has been since I started. Look at this. It is 31.9 degrees. So this is officially now going to be the coldest ice bath I've ever done. 31.9 degrees is what it is in there. Officially, that's below freezing. So, gulp. But today, you guys, I've been teasing about taking a thermometer and seeing what happens to my body temperature. Now, on yesterday's update, day 5, if you were here or you watched the replay, I took my temperature about maybe 10, 15 minutes after I got out of the ice bath, and I was actually at a low-grade kind of fever, 99.5 degrees. DeMarco says that froze my account, made a new IG. That's funny. Yes, guys, I'm a sadist, but look at all the ice. Of course, it's going to be 31.9 degrees. All right. So I had a low-grade fever. So it's a little chilly out here, and maybe because of all the ice baths that I've been doing, my body is creating more thermal energy and thus heat. So let's see what my temperature is right now before I get in there. And I'm going to try to update it while I'm in there. Uh-oh, I'm getting an error message now for some reason. Why an error message now? I'm trying to do something on camera. Rockin' and Rosa Wellness says, do you take your heart rate? Well, I wear my Oura ring, and so I can see what my heart rate is doing. I've not seen any abnormalities there. Guys, unfortunately, it's doing this to me. So maybe we'll have to save the thermometer thing for another day. I tested it right before we came on camera to make sure it was working. And it was working fine, but unfortunately... Oh, is it back? Okay, it's back. That's weird. All right, so... Let me take my temperature now. All right, 98.8. So that's pretty normal to be 98.8. And so that's a good starting temperature. So when I get in there, I will try to take it at periodic times. And then obviously as I'm talking to you guys when I'm warming back up inside, I will keep taking it as well. Are you ready to see all this? It's going to be interesting data. I've literally never tested my temperature while I've been in an ice bath like this. So this ought to be interesting. 98.8 to start. How low will it go? And then how high will it go when I start warming up again? All right. Thank you guys for being here. Again, day number 6 of doing this crazy ice bath challenge. I got my little clock ready to go, set for 5 minutes. And if you're ready, here we go. Ow! There was a piece of ice at the bottom that I stepped on, and I think I stubbed my toe going in. Ow! Oh, that hurt! Who knew the cold would not be the worst part? It's the ice at the bottom. Shit. Ow. I hope I'm not bleeding. Let me pull it up to make sure I'm not bleeding. All right, I'm not bleeding. Whew, but it sure felt like it. Oh my goodness. And yes, I'm going to keep my hands above the water today so I can do this testing of my temperature. I'm going to go ahead and stick this bad boy in my mouth at an appropriate time. So it's giving me that error message again. Hang tight. But welcome. Thanks for being here. I have enjoyed doing this, getting on camera, being in the ice. I love how it freaks certain people out online. I aim to please. I aim to freak out people. That's what I do. And that's okay. because I'm doing this for a purpose. The purpose is bigger than any criticism I might get for this, and that's okay. Man, my thermometer is screwing up on me again. I may have to go buy a new one. All right, looks like it's finally cleared. All right, so I've been in here about 2 minutes. All right, 98.9. It's gone up 0.1 degrees. So that's probably not surprising, because you would think, okay, your body temperature goes down being in an ice bath, that your body would get cooler. But actually what's happening is the warming mechanisms, the protective mechanisms in my body are probably already kicking in, trying to warm me up, and probably are warming me up. So that's interesting. It's already going up in temperature. Having been in here about half the time, so those of you that have just followed me today, starting today, I've been in here for 5 minutes a day since the beginning of the year. And so 5 minutes a day in the ice. And yeah, there's a big chunk of ice underneath my butt. That's what I stubbed my toe on getting in. I try to always scrape the bottom to make sure there's none still there, because this thing makes its own ice. And so the Morosco Forge people, they have a wonderful little mechanism here for making all this ice, but I usually check the bottom to see if there's ice. I guess when I rubbed my hand, I thought it was the bottom, and it was actually a sheet of ice. So, all right, so let's see if I can get this bad boy thermometer to work again, and we will test again. I'm getting a little bit of a reprieve today, not having my hands in the water, because usually that's the roughest part for me. So now that my hands are not in the water and I don't feel the pain from that, guess where my pain is? It's in the bottoms of my feet. So, all right, so it looks like I'm free again. Let's test the temperature again. All right, still 98.9. I've got about a little over a minute, 15 seconds left until 5 minutes is up. Woo! This is nice, guys. I mean, people say, wow, you look so comfortable in there. And I'm like, I am very comfortable. And they're like, how? That looks so painful. I get all these people that say, I could never go into ice. That's just unbelievably stupid. Okay. That's okay to think that. You would be wrong, but that's okay to think that. We all have our conceptions in our minds of what we think things are. And the reality of how things are is very rarely in alignment with our conception of those things. And ice baths is one of those examples where people come up with all these reasons why they hate it. Same with fasting, same with keto. Like, this is not new to me. I have ridden this rodeo a few times with various things. All right, I'm coming up on the end of the 5. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this back in my mouth again. All right, 99.4, you guys. See how it jumped? And now I'm at the 5 minutes. Let me finish off with my face and my head. Woo! There's that sheet of ice at the bottom I want to make sure I don't slip on, so. All right, very carefully get out. Whew. So yes, the Morosco Forge people, brilliant at coming up with this idea to have an ice tank that makes its own ice. But sometimes that's the trade-off, is when you get in there and there's a sheet of ice at the bottom that you didn't know was there. All right, let me come over here and set this down. Whew. Okay. 5 minutes goes by so fast, you guys. So yes, if you just joined in, day number 6 today of my challenge. And I see now that I never did post that, so let me post it now. Day 6 of my 365-day ice bath challenge, calling it Jimmy Ice. Jimmy Ice, ice baby. And yeah, so I just did another 5-minute session. So that's what I'm doing. 5-minute session in cold water. Today was the coldest water I have done to date. 31.9 degrees, officially below freezing in there. Technically very close to freezing, but all right, so let's see. 99.4 was the last reading that I had right there at the end of the 5 minutes. And again, that makes sense. All right, 99.2. So we're going to set that down. Talk to you guys for a few minutes. So if you have questions about ice baths, if you have any comments that you want to make, I am all ears as I'm trying to gain the feeling back in my legs and my toes and everything. The only thing I didn't have to worry about today was my hands because I had them above water for the to have the thermometer. So that's a little bit of cheating. I didn't have my hands underneath the water. But trust me, they're under the water every day. And it's my least favorite part of my body to go under the water because it's all prickly on the hands. But let's see what you guys have to share. I'm going to go back to the thermometer here in just a moment. You the man, says Rockin' Rosa. Thank you. Bulletproof Coconut Coach Jimmy. And what's that? Ice cream cones? Yes. Now that's cold, says Linda. Yes, 31.9 degrees. When I saw that this morning, I went, whoa. And then it stayed 31.9 degrees all day long. I was like, all right, I guess we're going to get in at 31.9 degrees today. Rosa says, I'm asking about your heart rate because when I do my hot and cold therapy, in the hot, it gets up to 150. Oh, that's interesting. Your heart rate gets up to 150. And the cold, it gets down to as low as 50. Well, my Oura Ring is connected to my phone that I'm using for Instagram right now, so I can't see what my heart rate is doing right this moment. But I've not seen it go super low like yours is. I will tell you that when I go to bed, which is usually within a couple of hours of being in the ice bath, my lowest heart rate tends to be that early part of the night. And that's also, ironically, when I get my best heart rate variability. It's also when I get my best deep sleep. So how about that? When I get into bed and my body temperature is cool, then I have a low heart rate, a high heart rate variability, and the best deep sleep. It's almost like those things are correlated or something. Yes, they're correlated is the point. So be safe, says Rosa. Thank you, always. Bulletproof says, woo. Yeah. When I get in, I usually can just slip my body in and go all the way down. Well, today, my toe hit that sheet of ice that was down there, and a little bit of it was sharp, so I thought I had cut my toe, which it's freezing water, so even if I had cut my toe, I think it would have clotted really fast with the freezing water. But yes, that was fun. So yes, if you just joined in, I just got out of, as you can see from my beautiful hair, 31.9 degree temperature Fahrenheit. All my European and outside the U.S. friends are like, 31.9 degrees is not cold if it's Celsius. I'm like, okay, I'm an American. You know what 31.9 degrees is in Fahrenheit. So, and so I was in there for 5 minutes. This is my 6th day in a row with 5 minutes in an ice bath. All right, so it's been sufficient amount of time. Let's see if we can get another reading of my temperature. I've been measuring my temperature. I have seen it now get up to 99.3, I believe it was. Well, maybe 99.4. All right, it's down to 98.7 again. So you could see when I was in the ice bath, it actually went up slightly, not greatly. It didn't go up 1-2 degrees, but it went up enough to say, okay, there's something happening with the big guy up there. Let's try to warm him up a little bit. And so when I was in the ice bath, it got up to 99.4, and it started at, what was it, 98.8. So, yeah, it's just kind of cool to see the physiological response that happens when you get in an ice bath. But I've got so much more to share about cold thermogenesis and cold therapy, you guys. Hopefully, watching me do this, you're getting the idea that this is a very normal thing, that this is a very healthy thing. I'm not being hurt at all. One thing I'm very proud of, if you watch my stories, that I think, and I credit two major things. I credit the ice bath, and I credit this magnesium that I take from Upgraded Formulas. So Upgraded Magnesium, I take that. I took that about half an hour ago, a couple of those, and then I take the ice bath. When I'm done with you guys, I will dry off, and I will chill a little bit more, or should I say I'll warm up a little bit more. And I let my body naturally warm up, by the way. Somebody yesterday said, do you go in the sauna or do you go jump in the hot tub? And it's like, no, you kind of want your body to be the one to warm you up, because that's how you train your body to be tolerant to the cold and learn how to tolerate it and get yourself warmer. And plus you get the metabolic effects from that as well. So for me, I like to let my body shiver, and I like to let it warm itself up. And I've already noticed, you guys, when I get out in the mornings and it's like 35, 34 degrees, I'm out there on my back porch, basically wearing shorts and nothing else. And I tolerate it just fine. Whereas before, I would literally shiver. I would literally have to run back in. And even here in the building that I'm in, usually I have to have some heat on when it's that cold. I have not turned on the heat. The only time I turn on the heat is after I wake up in the morning and it's dead cold in here from being so cold outside. I turn on the heat when I wake up in the morning to get the chill out of the air. Once the chill is out of the air and it's kind of warm in here, it's very well insulated, this building, I turn it off, and then I don't turn it back on the rest of the day. Jacob says, shiver me timbers. So I haven't heard that expression, but I like it. But that's pretty much the way I do it. Now, this weekend's going to be a challenge to that, by the way. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be 27 degrees for the low. And on Saturday, the low is going to be 23 degrees. Saturday, by the way, I'm going to try to do a walk and talk in 23 degree weather. So wish me luck on that one. But like I was saying earlier, I'm getting used to having exposure to the cold because of these ice baths, so that I'm not as cold in the cold weather. And this is kind of a cool thing, that you're allowing your body to become adaptive to this. All right, so those of you that just came in, I've been testing my temperature coming out of the ice bath. I've been out now about 5 or 10 minutes. I hadn't really paid attention to how much time, but we're gonna now see what my temperature is. It started at 98.8 and it got as high as 99.4. And currently, you guys, 99.7. So in real time, you can see my body got cold. And while it was cold, there was a modicum of increase. But now that I'm out of the ice bath, about 10 minutes or so, my body is responding with a very low-grade fever to warm myself up. Now, obviously, it's not a fever. That's my body metabolically kicking in to heat me up. Now, I haven't felt shivers yet. Usually about 10 to 15 minutes after I'm out of there, I start to shiver. And I'm thinking when the shivering starts is when I'm going to see a little bit more increase. But 997, that's already higher than I thought it would be. I wouldn't imagine it would go over 100, but I guess we'll find out here in a minute. But interesting, right? I like to see what the body is doing. And if you do try to do even a cold shower, it might be worth it for you to kind of test and see, hey, what's my temperature before I get in there? And then while you're doing the cold shower, let's say you do 2 minutes. At the end of the 2 minutes, test your temperature and see if it's gone up or down or whatever. And then in the like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes after, keep taking your temperature to see if your body does the same as mine. Like I said, I've never done this before. I've done many ice baths, but I've never taken my temperature after being in one to see physically what's happening to my body temperature, at least according to a thermometer. So, all right, so I'm going to do one more reading here to see if it's any different than 99.7. And here we go. All right, it's back down to 99.2. So it looks like the body does kind of this burst of warming you up. And it shows up on a thermometer. It'd be really cool if I wore some kind of a device that would constantly track my temperature. I think the Oura Ring was trying to do that, get some body temperature other than at night, but I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the heart rate, but I haven't seen any of the other things. But hopefully you enjoyed that update here on day number 6 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. It's been a lot of fun, you guys, doing this so far, and I'm just getting started. Everybody's like, give us all the information about ice baths and cold therapy. I'm like, guys, I have the whole freaking year to come up with content. So let me methodically get it out. I promise you, by the end of the year, if I haven't addressed something about cold thermogenesis, you can call me out in December, because I will have plenty of time in the month of December to tell you whatever I haven't told you the rest of the year. So, but thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and go check us out. We do put these up on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And yeah, having a good time in an ice bath. 5 minutes a day. Today, 31.9 degrees. That's some cold water. That's some high quality cold water there. Cariana says, I'm glowing. Thank you. I think my deep sleep improving, and that's where I was going on my stories a while ago. I was telling you about the stories. I never did finish the story about the stories. I post my sleep data every single day. And you'll notice my deep sleep, you guys, has been rocking. I have not had any below 2 hours of deep sleep. And most days I have over 2.5 hours of deep sleep. Today, the deep and REM combined total was over 4 hours and 20 minutes. That's really good restorative sleep. And here's my favorite part. It was 4 hours and 20 minutes out of 6 total hours of sleep. So I didn't sleep long, but when I was sleeping, I was sleeping quality. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather get over 4 hours of restorative sleep from REM and deep and only have 6 total hours of sleep than to have 8 or 9 total hours of sleep and only have 2.5 hours of REM and deep. You don't want to toss and turn. And I don't. And I credit the ice baths, I credit the magnesium, I credit keeping the temperature in my sleep environment cool. I credit the darkness. I credit not eating or drinking within 4 hours of going to bed. I credit getting sunshine in my eyes before 10 a.m. All of these things will help you if you're having trouble sleeping. This is the selling point I tell the people that are afraid of cold therapy. Are you having trouble sleeping? And most people I know are having trouble sleeping. I'm like, rinse off in a cold shower for a couple minutes before you go to bed. I've got my friend Brittany doing that now. She gets into the shower a couple of minutes before she goes to bed, and it's helped her. And she had really good sleep. Now, ironically, did not take the shower last night, but typically she does that, and she gets, or she's working on getting her sleep up to par. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I'm going to pop off of here for now because I need to get out of my wet clothes, but I'm not shivering. I wonder if that means I'm kind of adapting to the cold a little better, because I've been noticeably shivering. Now I'm cold. I can feel that I'm cold, although my forehead always gets warm first. But I can feel that I'm cold still, but I'm not shivering today, so that's interesting. Jacob says, have you found the 4 hours hard not eating before? No, because I only eat, Jacob, about twice a day anyway. So I'll eat in the morning, and then I'll eat in the early afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock. And so I go to bed at like 7 or 8 o'clock. That's very easy. So no, it's not hard to have that 4 hours before bed. I don't get hungry after I have my second meal. As for drinking, I've got some water here, and if I need to sip a little bit of water, I'm not anal retentive about it. But as much as you can, definitely the food part. Don't eat within 4 hours, because that messes with your deep sleep. It will cannibalize deep sleep if you eat food too close to bedtime. So that's why I say give yourself a 4 hour washout period. When would you break your fast after that? After what? So if I stop eating at, say, 3 o'clock, I would eat the next day at, say, 8 or 9 o'clock. So if that's what you're asking. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. Day number 6 of the 365-day ice bath challenge I'm calling Jimmy Ice. This is a lot of fun, guys. I hope you're enjoying watching me freeze my butt off every day. But actually, I did okay. I didn't freak out at all today. I didn't even really have to do my breathing. I think because my hands were above water and I had kind of a focus on the thermometer that I had to pay attention to, that it just distracted me or something. So, all right, I'm going to do one more measure and then I'll get out of here. All right. 98.7. So we're back to normal again. Well, as normal as Jimmy Moore's going to be. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.